President Akufo-Addo has accepted the resignation of Ghana's first ever special prosecutor with an indication the office will respond appropriately to the issues he raised in the coming days. The letter signed by the communications director of the president a few hours ago reads, "The President of the Republic, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, is taking note of the resignation from office of the Special Prosecutor, Mr. Martins Amidu, by letter dated Monday, 16th November 2020. President Akufo-Addo has also taken due note of the other matters raised by the Special Prosecutor in his letter of resignation, and the Presidency will issue a detailed response to them shortly." It goes on, the President has directed the Chief of Staff to contact Mr. Martins Amidu to resolve all outstanding matters consequent upon his resignation. President Akufo-Addo thanks Mr. Martins Amidu for his service to the country and wishes him well in his future endeavors. And it's signed by Eugene Ahing, Director of Communications. Now, the presidency had indicated in his statement accepting the resignation that it will issue a detailed response in due course. We've been anticipating that response since. Let's get on the phone and speak with presidential correspondent Elting Brobe. Elting, is there any indication when this detailed response will be coming?
Israel, it's very, very, very difficult to tell. We were told to hold on to get the response, but it's past 7 p.m. and there is no indication that that response won't come true. The word they use there is due course. It's unclear when that will be made possible. We're under the impression that it will be made available to us, the members of the press corps, by close of work today, but that hasn't happened, and it's unclear when that would be. But what I've been told is that the statement is being worked on, and the statement will respond to every issue raised by the office, by the special prosecutor in this case, in his resignation letter to government. And for that reason, that should come up. And also, more specifically, because some portions of the resignation letter ropes in the president, my information is that the response, from people I've been speaking to within the corridors of Wagis, or what is likely to come, they need the president's okay and president's own input, and then that will be made available to the public. For now, we can only stay with two correspondents that came from Joynews this afternoon. One addressed directly to Mr. Martins Amidu, the outgoing special prosecutor, and the one communicating to the public government position on the resignation letter. But there's been so many issues happening within the corridors of IDEED. People have been forthcoming with information, even though not on official record. But, for example, somebody I spoke to close to the chief director here at the Jubilee House took me through stages of discussions right after Mr. Martins Amidu was confirmed as special prosecutor and was given his instrument to start work. And then the series of discussions that took place relating to office accommodation, first instance where government had to now rent an office space for him, which has been described as an equivalent of a 3-bedroom apartment. And then Mr. Martins Amidu's own reservations about that office, which culminated in a series of meetings together with the Chief of Staff, Deputy Chief of Staff, and other officials from the Ministry of Works and Housing that fairly settled on a 2-story building. Mr. Martins agreed to it. And then this was in 2018, specifically September 2018. And then 2 days after, when everything was being worked on to get that building to Mr. Martins Amidu, the Chief of Staff was informed by Mr. Martins Amidu that he had identified another property close to the British High Commission here in Accra. And later it was found that that building belonged to Get Fund. Government really spoke to Get Fund, and Get Fund decided to offload the building to the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Processes were done under a sole source agreement initiated by the Special Prosecutor himself. So they give the impression of all that they've done to ensure that the office work effectively.
All right.
And according to them, the proof of the commitment has never been in doubt. And for that reason, they appear to be shocked by the decision by Mr. Martins Amidu to step down as special prosecutor.
Now, Elting, we got to know of a meeting by the board of the Office of the Special Prosecutor over to deliberate the resignation of the Special Prosecutor. Do we have any word from it? Because we're also learning that one of the things that was being discussed, or was to be discussed, has to do with who succeeds him, whether the deputy was going to take over. Do we have any word?
Yes, Israel. So the information I've picked is that according to the board, they were not informed of the resignation of Mr. Martins Amidu. They also heard it in the news. So this morning, the board chair, Linda Oforikafo, conveyed a board meeting, and they deliberated on the resignation and the issues raised in the resignation letter. I'm told that they, after the meeting, communicated their resolution to the presidency. And I'm told that one of the issues that they have recommended be done immediately is for the appointment of an acting special prosecutor in the stead of the government is ready to appoint somebody in a substantive position. And I'm told that part of the recommendation is that the deputy special prosecutor be elevated to the position of an acting special prosecutor pending the appointment of a substantive one. And these matters, I'm told, is before government's consideration, and hopefully in the days to follow, we may hear official announcements elevating somebody to the position of an acting special prosecutor. My information is that we may not have a substantive one before the end of the year. Going into next year, there may be, that is subject to the approval or otherwise of the president.
All right. Thank you very much, Presidential Correspondent Elting Broman.